What's good, my Zillas, and what's going on, my Kongs? It's me, MT, and welcome back to the Heavy Spoiler Show, y'all. Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire is finally out in all of its titan-bashing glory, and my god, was it so damn great to see my favorite frenemies assemble to kick some kaiju keisters, and I am so damn sad that this movie is over now because I cannot get enough of this here dang Monsterverse. So, let's go on ahead and try to speculate on where the Monsterverse could be headed after this movie. So spoilers for the ending of Godzilla x Kong: A New Empire, of course, because this video is going to be referencing events from that movie to try to predict what Legendary could be cooking up next. But before I get into this video, like always, for just 99 cents a month, you guys can become a member of this channel and get early access to all of our videos before everybody else. We would really appreciate your support, but it's not necessary. A like and subscribe on this channel would do just fine. Alright, so Godzilla x Kong: A New Empire, of course, ends with the brutal shattering of the Skar King after Godzilla, Shimu, Donkey Kong, and Diddy Kong use the power of oversized friendship to tell a hot-headed Skar King to chill the hell out, leading to the people of Brazil to experience a very cold shower, courtesy of Shimu. But that dope-ass final fight would not have been able to happen without the intervention of one Gia and a newly reincarnated Mothra, as Mothra is the main force that was able to get Godzilla and Kong to work together in the first place, because God knows Zilla don't take orders from nobody else other than his winged woman. But now that Mothra's back to watch Godzilla's back, and Kong is king of the Hollow Earth alongside his new little brother and frosty rescue dog, where could the Monsterverse go from here? Well, in a recent interview with Discussing Film, director Adam Wingard revealed that while Warner Brothers and Legendary haven't greenlit any Godzilla x Kong sequels as of yet, and has no idea if they will, he definitely feels like all of the monsters centric to Godzilla x Kong still have interesting stories left to be told. So, if Wingard got the green light to continue his growing universe, what new Monsterverse plot threads could he potentially pull from? Well, considering what we learned about Gia Andrews' special abilities in this movie, one of the major possibilities that could be on the horizon is a spin-off Mothra movie with Gia in the lead role. Because guess what, gang? Your boy was right! I was monster freaking correct, son! Because just like I theorized in my breakdown of one of the Godzilla x Kong trailers, Gia Andrews is in fact the legendary Monsterverse's adaptation of the telepathic Shobijin twins from the original Toho Godzillaverse movies, making their first appearance in the first ever Mothra standalone movie from 1961. The Shobijin were two twins from a mysterious island called Infant Island that had a strong telepathic connection to Mothra, a benevolent titan that they worshipped like a holy goddess. And because Mothra is literally a giant-ass moth without the vocal cords of a human being, Mothra would of course have to rely on these telepathic sisters to connect with her and then translate what Mothra had to say to humanity. So, as soon as I knew that Gia was experiencing weird visions and saw Mothra reflected within Gia's eye in the trailer, I immediately could see that it was Mothra herself that was trying to reach out to her new chosen telepathic priestess. But anyways, now that we know Gia to have such a crucially important role in the Monsterverse as effectively the only human being that can hope to interpret the will of Mothra and every one of Mothra's allies, Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire is definitely not the last time that we will be seeing Gia. And considering that Mothra has had her own string of Mothra-centric movies in the past, it wouldn't be too much of a stretch to assume that director Adam Wingard would like to pursue a Mothra spin-off movie sometime in the near future. But a Mothra spin-off isn't the only route Legendary could take to expand their Monsterverse, because this new Mothra isn't the only new kid on the block introduced in Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire, because your favorite mini Kong Suko is here to stay, baby. A Suko spin-off project has a very high likelihood of happening, in my opinion, because soon after 2021's Godzilla vs. Kong started making buku bucks for Warner Brothers and Legendary, reports pretty much immediately came out of Legendary and director Adam Wingard discussing the possibility of making a new Son of Kong movie as one of their next projects. Released in 1933, shortly after the success of the original King Kong film, Son of Kong focused on Kong's compassionate son named Kiko as he protects a group of human treasure hunters from the various dangers of Skull Island. But while Son of Kong was very much seen to be a soulless cash grab of a sequel, quickly churned out to profit off of the King Kong hype at the time, Adam Wingard appears to be very interested in making a Son of Kong adaptation actually work in the modern day. And I can totally see Wingard having his new mini-Kong creation Suko being the new Kiko of Legendary's Monsterverse. I mean, since Kong is now the king of Kongs and everything the light touches in the Hollow Earth, I can imagine that Kong isn't going to have as much time as he used to have to hang out with the humans on the surface and protect them from other titans and whatnot. However, since Suko is still a young and curious Kong who has just experienced the upper surface for the first time, Suko becoming the adopted son of Kong and exploring everything the human world has to offer feels like a natural next step for the series. But there's another much more wild possibility that came across my radar about where a potential Godzilla x Kong sequel could go, and I'm gonna need y'all to follow with me for a second because it's definitely a crazy theory, but you know, it's me. I'm a guy with crazy theories. It's what I do. At the beginning of Godzilla x Kong, when Dr. Andrews first heads to Bernie's apartment to get his help, Bernie laments about how his lack of proof about the crazy-ass kaiju events that happened to him in Godzilla vs. Kong made him an online laughingstock, with a ton of people giving him grief online about the legitimacy of his podcast. However, out of all of the online trolls, Bernie makes sure to note that the one that is the most toxic and bothersome is a user by the name of Ghidorah Stan 64, with 64 of course being a nod to the year Ghidorah first made his appearance in Ghidorah, the Three-Headed Monster. But while most people dismissed this comment as just another one of Bernie's nonsense ramblings about his podcast, my ears immediately perked up when I heard the mention of this random internet troll, because it tickled a major suspicion I had about the fate of one of Godzilla vs. Kong's silent villains, and how that villain could return once again to seek revenge on Godzilla and Kong for what they did to them in that movie. And of course the villain that I am speaking of is none other than one Ren Serizawa, the former science sidekick to Apex Cybernetics CEO Walter Simmons. If you remember from Godzilla vs. Kong, Ren Serizawa was the disgruntled son of Dr. Ishiro Serizawa, who grew up to hate his father for becoming so obsessed with kaiju and Monarch in general. And as an act of defiance, Ren would use his genius intellect to team up with Apex Cybernetics in order to make their mission of destroying all monsters a reality, because without any monsters, the subject of Ren's father's lifetime obsession would become meaningless, and to that end, Ren Serizawa would ultimately end up piloting Apex's Mechagodzilla creation while connected to one of King Ghidorah's severed heads, as Apex was taking advantage of Ghidorah's self-regenerating neural network to make a Titan supercomputer of sorts. However, when Ghidorah's latent consciousness woke up, it immediately took over control of the Mechagodzilla construct after brutally shocking a plugged-in Ren Serizawa, with the audience not knowing exactly what happened to this salty Serizawa after that moment. However, much like I brought up in a previous Monsterverse video, I do not believe that Godzilla vs. Kong was the end of Ren Serizawa, and unfortunately, I also don't think it was the end of King Ghidorah either, because I believe there's a really strong chance here that King Ghidorah's consciousness could have traveled into Ren Serizawa's body while Ren's head was directly interfacing with King Ghidorah's mind, effectively allowing Ghidorah to live on within Serizawa's body, possibly even controlling it. And we saw something similar happen with Charlie Day's character in Pacific Rim Uprising. This all being said, despite how ridiculous this sounds, I wouldn't put it past Adam Wingard to plant the seeds for the return of Ren and Ghidorah through this throwaway line by Bernie. Ghidorah Stan 64 could very well be King Ghidorah himself in Ren Serizawa's nerdy-ass body, and it would kind of make sense for a Serizawa-Ghidorah hybrid to troll the elusive Bernie of the Titan Truth podcast online, because Bernie is literally the reason that Ghidorah's Mechagodzilla body was destroyed in the first place. It was Bernie's whiskey being poured on one of Apex's computers that caused Mechagodzilla to glitch out long enough for Godzilla and Kong to eliminate him as a threat. So Ghidorah coming back with a vengeance would be extremely fitting for this series in my my opinion, and would strongly fit in with King Ghidorah's theme of threes, because much like King Ghidorah has 3 heads, Ghidorah having 3 separate bodies throughout the course of this franchise would also be symbolically appropriate. But those are just where I think the Monsterverse is headed next. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comment section down below. And what did you guys think about Godzilla x Kong in general? Like, did you guys like it? Like, what was your favorite part of the movie? Let us know, we want to hear it. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. You can follow me at Mastertainment on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, or wherever I am on the internet. But most importantly, don't forget to subscribe to Heavy Spoilers here on YouTube. And when you do, hit that notification bell so that you guys can get notifications every time we upload a video. But like always, I love you guys so much. You guys are amazing for taking the time to just listen to me ramble about various nerd stuff. I hope that you guys are doing all right and that you guys stay safe. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.